Hello dear friends, welcome to this lecture of ordinary differential equations. We are studying linear equations of higher order with constant coefficients. And earlier we have seen what is the general form. Actually this is the general form of the linear equation of nth order. That is nth derivative of y with respect to x plus p1 n minus 1th derivative of y with respect to x and so on. P and y is equal to x, which may also be written with this notation f of d on y is equal to x. This is the notational form of the linear equation. D stands for derivative with respect to x, that is the operator. And we have seen that this general solution of this linear differential equation consists of two parts: complementary function and particular integral. And complementary function is actually the solution of f of d over y is equal to 0. The right side is taken as a 0, and then it's a solution we have denoted by CF, and we have studied how to obtain complementary function of the linear equation. Now we shall study how to obtain the particular integral, and then we know the general solution is particular complementary function plus particular integral. So first part we have done already, that is to obtain the complementary function. Now we shall consider the second part to find the particular integral of this linear differential equation. Before that, we shall see what is the meaning of this symbolic function 1 upon f of d. It is actually an operator, and we should write it as 1 upon f of d over x, operated on x. Is that function of x. It is a function of x. Capital X is a function of x, and d stands for derivative with respect to x. Therefore, this will be a function of x, which when operated upon by f of d gives x. That means if you operate this by f of d, this gives x, means f of d and 1 upon f of d are inverse of each other. So that we have written here, the operator 1 by f d is the inverse operator, is the inverse of the operator f of d. For example, we will see this as we have d square minus 2d operated on x square is 2 minus 4x. So how it is? So second order derivative of x square, that first order is 2x and then its derivative is 2, so it is 2 minus 2 derivative of x square. Derivative of x square is 2x, so minus 2 into 2x is minus 4x. So thus d square minus 2d operated on x square gives 2 minus 4x, and therefore 1 over of this 1 over d square minus 2d of 2 minus 4x will be equal to x square. So that means if we shift this operator on this side, it becomes the reciprocal, or 1 over d square minus 2d of this function is equal to the function here, that is x square. And thus we have written that 1 by f of d is the inverse of f of d. And this symbol we have used earlier. Capital D of x stands for derivative with respect to x. So capital D of x is equal to d by dx of x, and therefore 1 over d or 1 by d of x will be integration of x with respect to x. So thus this we have to understand, that is 1 upon f d is an operator, and it is the inverse operator of f of d. Now the general form of the linear equation is f of d over y is equal to x, and thus its particular integral will be on this right side function capital X. 1 by f d is operated on capital X, that is, this is the particular integral from this. So we can express y is equal to 1 upon f of d over x, and therefore for this linear equation, its particular integral is this one. Pi is 1 upon f of d over x. So this is the particular integral, and now we have to study the methods to find the particular integral of the given equation, given linear equation with constant coefficients. Here first we shall see what is the general method to find particular integral, and then we will see the short methods to obtain particular integral. So this is the general method which is stated by this theorem. if x is a function of x, this x is a function of x, then 1 upon this f of d is we have taken as simple form d minus alpha. Alpha is a constant. 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x is equal to e to the power alpha x integral capital X e to the power minus alpha x into dx. So this is the general formula or general method to obtain the particular integral. Now we shall prove this. We shall prove this theorem. So for that purpose we shall assume this as y, and then to obtain this value means to find the value of y. So first thing is let y is equal to 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x. Now we operate d minus alpha on both sides. That is, therefore d minus alpha operated on y is equal to d minus alpha operated on the right side, that is 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x. Now see what will be the right side. Now the right side by this definition 1 upon f of d x, this is the function of x which when operated by f of d gives x, means if we operate this by f of d, then the value results to be x. So that means these are inverse of each other. We have written here also, these are inverse of each other, and therefore their product will be identity, that is 1, and thus this will cancel each other, and therefore the right side will remain only x. So that must gives x, that gives x, and therefore the equation becomes d minus alpha operated on y is equal to x. See, note this, and now this equation will become d stands for d by dx. So we operate on y, that means this will be dy by dx minus alpha y is equal to x. So this is the equation we have obtained, and we know this is a linear differential equation of first order. This is linear equation with integrating factor. Now we know what is the integrating factor of this equation. The equation we have studied, linear equation of first order, dy by dx. See, this is the form. We have to compare that with this form, dy by dx plus py is equal to q. It is of this form. And what is its integrating factor? Integrating factor of this equation is e to the power integral p dx, and solution is, we are using this result to solve that equation, and the solution is y into integrating factor is equal to integral q, right side function, into integrating factor dx with respect to x, the integration, and plus a constant. So therefore for this, what is the value of p is minus alpha and the value of q is capital X. So integrating factor is e to the power integral minus alpha into dx. Using this result, p is minus alpha, and there we know alpha is constant, so therefore it is minus alpha, and integration of dx is x minus alpha x, and the solution is, its solution is, and its solution is, see, y into if. Now that will become y into if. What is if here? E power minus alpha x is equal to integral q here is x, so that is x into if. If is, now you see, there it is, e power minus alpha x, and into dx. We don't write the constant of integration for this solution because it is a particular integral, and constants, all constants are already will be added in complementary function, and therefore remember, for particular integral we don't include the constant because the constants are included earlier in complementary function, and therefore we don't write this c. So using this earlier result, we have written the solution of this equation, and that is in terms of y we have to write, and therefore we multiply both sides by e power alpha x, or shift this term on this side. That will be e power alpha x integral x into e power minus alpha x into dx. So this is the value of y, but what is y? Y is 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x, and therefore thus 1 upon d minus alpha operated on this is the value of y, x operated on x gives e power alpha x integration x into e power minus alpha x dx, and this proves the theorem. See, this is the same result we have obtained. Hence the proof. Now we can write the formula in the another form as taking plus sign here, and you should note this as a remark. So from the above formula, so we have 1 upon d plus alpha operated on x is equal to, that means here alpha is to be taken as negative, so minus of minus alpha, and therefore the right side in place of alpha we have to write minus alpha. So e power minus alpha x. See, this is written as 1 minus d minus alpha operated on x, and then use the this same formula, that is e power in place of alpha we have to write minus alpha, e power minus alpha integral x, negative alpha will be here plus alpha, because alpha is in place of alpha it is negative alpha, and this will be alpha x dx. So it is the special form of the same formula, and we have this. So for example, how to use the result is simple. See, for example, we have 1 upon d minus 2 operated on say x is say x square, then this will be equal to e power, now using this formula, alpha is 2, so e power 2x integration, what is x? X here is x square, so x square into e power minus alpha x, that is minus 2x dx. So in this way we can use this result. Here alpha is 2, and therefore operated, and a capital X is x square. So the result is when 1 upon d minus 2 operated on x square gives e power 2x integral x square into e power minus 2x dx. So this is the general formula or general method to obtain particular integral of this form, 1 upon d minus alpha. So alpha is a constant, maybe the real number which may be integer or rational, and that gives the result in this form. So we have to remember this as a formula. Now we will see the methods to find pi using this formula. There are two methods to how to use this formula. So methods to find pi using the general formula. First method is 1 upon fd is factorized into linear factors. Factored into linear factors. or in this case, therefore what will be 1 upon f of d operated on x will be equal to, suppose the linear factors of 1 upon f of d are 1 over d minus alpha 1, 1 over d minus alpha 2, and there are n factors, we can say d minus alpha n. So this f of d is factored in this form, d minus alpha 1, d minus alpha 2, and so on up to d minus alpha n, and this is operated on x. So in this case we shall operate, how many factors are there? N factors are there, and we operate the operators from right in succession over x, and thus this can be written as 1 over d minus alpha 1 into so on. So if we write the earlier factor to this, then that will be d minus alpha n minus 1, and see 1 upon d minus alpha n operated on x. So we have written the same. Earlier to this factor is 1 upon d minus alpha n minus 1 factor, alpha n minus 1, and now for this we shall use the general formula, and that gives 1 upon d minus alpha 1 etc. 1 upon d minus alpha n minus 1, and in bracket. Now see that will be e power alpha n into x integration, that is x, this function x, e power minus alpha n times x into dx. So this will be the last operated on x using this formula, and in this way operating these factors from right in succession. So in this way operating the factors from right in succession, we get the pi. So and thus so if this factor is operated, then operate this one, and then in succession we can operate the last one as 1 over d minus alpha 1, and that gives the value of pi. This is one method. Now the second method is see 1 upon f of d is decomposed into the partial fractions. Or decomposed or expressed into partial fractions. Then in this case, so we should have to remember this result. In this case 1 upon f of d operated on x will be written as, suppose the partial fractions of 1 upon f of d are a divided by d minus alpha 1. The factors we are assuming in the same, that are these are the factors, and we express this in partial fractions, where these constants we shall denote by a1, a2, etc. a2 divided by d minus alpha 2 and plus so on. an divided by d minus alpha n, and this is operated. So 1 over fd is expressed in this form, operated on x. Now that gives, this is equal to, a1 is a constant, so a1 1 upon d minus alpha 1 operated on x plus a2 etc. plus an 1 upon d minus alpha n operated on x, and thus each is to be operated on x, and a1 a2 are constants, so can be written separately. And now we use the same formula. This is a1 e power alpha 1 x integral x into e power minus alpha 1 times x, using the formula here, and plus so on. The last one will be an. So this is e power alpha n x integral x into e power minus alpha n x into dx. So in this way this gives the pi. So thus therefore pi is in this way, and we note that this method is used more. Second method 2 is used more in general. So it is easier because we have to operate only these factors separately, and what happens here is this will be a function of x, and then again we have to operate this on that function and in succession. Here separately it is operated. So method 2 is used more in general. So thus we have seen the general formula to obtain Pi in the form 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x, and there are two methods. First, the factors are expressed in 1 upon f of d is expressed into linear factors, and the second method is 1 upon f of d is expressed into partial fractions. Now we shall see a problem on it to understand this method. Now we shall solve some problems to use this general formula to find particular integral. I have written here a problem and some problems for practice. First we shall see how to solve d2y by dx square minus y is equal to 2 plus 5x. Actually we have to solve the this differential equation, linear equation, means we have to find its general solution, and which include complementary function and particular integral. So the first thing is we shall write the equation in d notation, operator d. So solution for the first problem, the given differential equation is this d square, second order derivative, we write capital D square, and minus 1 operated on y is equal to, the right side is 2 plus 5x. See, this is the same as d square y means d2y by dx square minus y, and it is written d square minus y capital D over y is equal to 2 plus 5x. We shall first find the complementary function. Its auxiliary equation is we know the auxiliary equation is f of d is equal to 0. That means d square minus 1 is equal to 0. So that is d square minus 1 is 0. Or we have to find the roots of this equation, that is the values of capital D. So this gives d square is equal to 1 means 1 square, and therefore taking root we have d is equal to plus 1 and minus 1. So there are two distinct roots, and therefore the CF is complementary function. We know if the roots are distinct, we have to write C1 e power this root x, 1 into x, plus C2 e power minus x. If D has roots m1, m2, then the CF is C1 e power m1x plus C2 e power m2x. That result we have used here to find the complementary function. Now after getting the complementary function, we have to find the particular integral. Next, Pi is Pi of this equation. We know if the given differential equation is f of d over y is equal to capital X, then Pi is 1 upon f of d operated on x. Next, Pi is equal to 1 upon d square minus 1 operated on 2 plus 5x. So we are going to use this result for obtaining Pi. That is the general formula we want to use, and we have seen earlier two methods. So this can be factored into linear factors, and the factors are we have this as d square minus 1, that is 1 square. So the factors are d minus 1, d plus 1, using the formula d square minus 1 square, d minus 1, d plus 1 operated on 2 plus 5x. Now there are two methods we have seen. Either operate 1 upon d plus 1 first on 2 plus 5x and then after obtaining the resulting value, operate 1 upon d minus 1. That is the first method. But the second method is express this into partial fractions, and then each fraction is to be operated on 2 plus 5x. So we are going to use the second method in place of instead of the first method, and we shall express the partial fractions of this. So the partial fractions I shall write directly. We know the methods to obtain the partial fraction. Consider this and express it as a divided by d minus 1 plus b divided by d plus 1, or a1 divided by d minus 1 plus a2 divided by d plus 1, and then find the values of a1 and a2, or a and b. So that I shall express this as d minus 1 and it has d plus 1. So if I write the negative sign in between, then this will be d plus 1 minus d, minus of minus becomes plus 1. So actually d cancels and what remains is 2 here, but there is no 2 and that 2 is to be divided out. For that purpose I write 1 by 2. You note this is exactly the same. This is simple, therefore I have written directly. So for other problems you should obtain this separately, taking this as 1 upon d minus 1 into 1 upon d plus 1 is to be written as a divided by d minus 1 plus b divided by d plus 1, writing like this, and then find the value of a and b. So here what is the value of a? It is 1/2 and b is minus 1/2. So it can be checked easily because it is d plus 1. D plus 1 numerator will be d plus 1 minus d minus 1, and the denominator is d minus 1 into d plus 1, the subtraction of this. And what is the value of the numerator? This d cancels and plus 1 plus of minus is again plus 1, that is 2. So this 2 is cancelled by writing 1 by 2 outside, and thus the value is exactly same as this one, only this denominator remains. And we have expressed this operator 1 upon d square minus 1 into linear factors, and this is operated on 2 plus 5x. Now that is equal to, we should operate this separately on this 1 upon d minus 1 operated on 2 plus 5x, that is 1/2 I shall write constant 1 upon d minus 1 operated on 2 plus 5x minus 1 by 2 1 upon d plus 1 operated on 2 plus 5x. So thus we have written this, and now we have to use the formula, this formula, to write the value of each, and that is 1 by 2. So I shall continue writing here. So this is our CF that we have to remember. This is equal to 1 by 2. Now see, for this use the formula. What is alpha? Alpha here is 1, and therefore it will be e power x, 1x, integration x is 2 plus 5x here, and therefore that will be 2 plus 5x into e power minus alpha x, that is e power minus x into dx, the first. And for the second it is minus half. Now see here, alpha is minus 1 because there must be minus sign here. We have written the formula for this also, and that it becomes minus x. Alpha is minus 1, so alpha x means minus 1x. Integration, the function is the same, 2 plus 5x, and now here it will be e power minus alpha x means e power x into dx. So thus using this formula, we have used the formula 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x is equal to e power alpha x integral e power, or x capital X, into e power minus alpha x. This formula is used, and further it is to be evaluated. See the evaluation of this and evaluation of this integral, and it is clear that it is a product of algebraic and exponential function. We have to use the integration by parts, How to use the integration by part, that we should note as integration, using the integration by part. So integration by part rule is integral u into v dx is equal to. So this sometimes the rule is to be used in succession, this integration by part. Again, if the resulting integral is a product of two functions, then we have to repeat the rule of integration by part, and that general rule can be written like this. So first function, and this is second function. So the derivative of the first function as it is, the first term is first function as it is, means u, and integration of the second. So I shall write integration of second as v1. This suffix v1 stands for integration of v. This is the notation I am using, minus derivative of the first, this function, derivative of u is, I shall use the this prime notation to denote the derivative. U prime means, or u dash means derivative of u, and into integration of second, this is v1, integration of v1 is v2. Again plus, the next sign is alternate minus, plus, minus, plus. Again the derivative of the first, that is this is to be noted, derivative of this function, that is u dash or u prime double prime. The derivative of u prime will be u double prime. Integration into integration of second, that integration of v2 is v3, and minus. Now next will be again the derivative of the first, that is third derivative, and this is the integration of the second, that is v4, and plus so on. So this is the integration by part in succession, integration by part. So where the u dash prime notation stands for derivative, so where u prime stands for du by dx, and v1 stands for integration of v with respect to x. So this is the rule of integration by part in succession. So it is easy to remember. First term is u into integration of v. v1 stands for, see, note this, suffix notation stands for the integration of this function, and prime notations or dash is used for derivative. So first function as it is, integration of second, negative sign, minus the derivative of this function, whatever function is there you should write in bracket, and then derivative of this, and into integration of this function v1, that is v2, plus next sign is plus the derivative of u prime, u double prime, and integration of v2 is v3, and so on. So plus minus sign is there, and the term is integration of this function, derivative of the first function, integration of the second function. It goes on in succession. So use this rule here, and that will be equal to 1/2 e power x remains the same, and in bracket I shall write this rule. So what is u? This is u, and this is the second function is v. So u as it is means 2 plus 5x as it is. Integration of v1 means integration of v, integration of this e power minus x, and that we know as e power minus x divided by minus 1, or which is minus e power minus x. I am using this rule and writing the integration minus, see the derivative u prime means derivative of this function. What is derivative of 2 plus 5x? That we know 0 plus 5, that is 5. So it is to be written in bracket, derivative, that is u prime, and v2 integration of this negative sign must be taken into consideration. So therefore we have to write these functions in bracket. So integration of this is now minus, again integration of e power minus x is minus e power minus x, and that becomes e power minus x. The sign is positive. Now what will be the next term? The derivative of the first is 0. So this much is the integration of the first. Sorry. Now next is this function. It is minus half e power minus x. Use the same rule for the second term also, and in place of e power minus x, here it is e power x. So this will be, this is u now and this is v. So that is 2 plus 5x into integration of the second, that is e power x, and that is e power x, minus derivative of first, which is same as this one, 5, and integration of the second, integration of e power x is e power x. Actually what will be the next term? There will be plus sign, derivative of this, that is 0, and therefore remaining terms will be all 0, and this much is the integration of the term, this term. So thus we have evaluated the integral. Now we will see what is its value. I shall now write here. So this is equal to, so this is the rule of integration by part, which can be used directly and in succession. So I think you can remember it and understand it. So this is equal to, this is what is pi that we are obtaining, 1 by 2 e power x. Now we shall multiply by e power x inside the bracket, and the product of e power x and e power minus x will be 1. So this is 1 by 2. See, multiplying by this function inside the bracket, it is a negative sign, minus into bracket 2 plus 5x, and this is minus 5, and next is minus 1 by 2 second term. Again multiply by this function inside the bracket. The product of these two is e power 0, which is 1, and therefore it will be 2 plus 5x, and that is minus 5. Now we shall see. So what will be the addition of these two? This is minus half 2 plus 5x, and this is minus half into 2 plus 5x. So this is having the same sign, and therefore these terms will be added. Pi is, so minus half is and 2 plus 5x, that will be negative of 2 plus 5x, and this is minus pi by 2, and this becomes plus pi by 2, that term cancels. So this is the pi, and thus now the general solution can be written. Therefore the general solution is y is equal to Cf plus Pi, and Cf we have already obtained. So that is, you see, it is C1 e power x plus C2 e power minus x, because d has the roots plus 1 and minus 1, therefore this is the Cf, and Pi we have obtained here, minus 2 plus 5x. So this is the general solution, and in this way we have used the general formula to obtain the particular integral, and we have solved this problem. Now I have written these two problems for you to solve, and so I think you can solve these problems. For the first, you see, the auxiliary equation is d square. See, for the first problem, d square plus 2d plus 1 over y is equal to 2 e power 2x. This is the first step, and this is the auxiliary equation, and we know this is equal to 0, or it is actually the perfect square of d plus 1 is equal to 0, and the roots will be 1 and 1 repeated, minus 1 and minus 1 repeated. So d plus 1 is 0, d plus 1 is 0. So d is equal to minus 1 minus 1. But that is easy to write the CF. Then now what is important is to find Pi. Pi will be d plus 1 whole square operated on 2e power 2x. So this for this Pi, I will suggest you to use the first method, and that means it is d plus 1 upon d plus 1 to e power 2x. So first get this using the formula and then operate 1 upon d plus 1 over this. So I hope you can understand and solve this. 2 will remain constant, and that can be written as, see, first if you operate it, then that will be 1 upon d plus 1, and that 2 can be written outside this whole expression. 1 over d plus 1 operated on e power 2x will be e power minus alpha. Here yes, it is now minus x integral x is e power 2x and e power that will be, see, the rule we have is 1 upon d minus alpha operated on x, e power alpha x integration x e power minus alpha x, and here it is negative and here it will be positive. So check the formula and use it, and then evaluate this, operate 1 upon d plus 1 over it. So in this way we can solve the first problem, and for the second one it is factored into two distinct factors and use partial fraction. Actually it will be d square minus 5d plus 6. The factors are d minus 2 and d minus 3 operated on e power 4x. Express this into partial fractions and get the values of a and b, operate it on e power 4x, and solve the second problem by the second method that we have solved earlier the problem. So these are the problems depending on finding Pi using the general formula. So but there are short methods also to find the particular integral, so which are easier than this method, but this is the basic and general formula that also we must know, and therefore we have solved these problems on it. So remaining part we will continue in our next lecture. Thank you.